let's get into it, guys. About last night, the Warriors finished the game on a 17-6 run to beat the Spurs, but will be without Steph Curry for at least the next 2 games after he twisted his ankle Thursday. Kevin Durant picking up the slack, though, scoring 37. Obviously, this has been a chronic injury for Curry. But, Stephen A., is this what it would take for the Rockets to beat them?
It would help, no doubt about it, but I'm not going to, even without Steph Curry, I'm not going to just concede that the Rockets would win the West. And that's no disrespect to the Houston Rockets. It's about the Golden State Warriors. I'm looking at a guy like Klay Thompson, and I just am of the mindset that this is a guy that is just not appreciated. We know the superstar that Kevin Durant is. We know that. There is no debating that, no question about it, okay? Chemistry and cohesiveness comes into play because a vast majority of these guys on the Warriors have been playing together for years, and David West has fit in nicely along with Swaggy P. Nick Young coming off the bench and providing a spark from the perimeter. But the third wheel on the Golden State Warriors is Klay Thompson, and that's the whole premise of my argument. I really think people do not appreciate how great this guy is as a shooter. He is one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. Now, he's a third wheel, averaging 19 a game, shooting 49% from the field, 44.6% from three-point range. And not only that, he defends. Not only does he defend, he's capable of playing with his back to the basket. He's not just some spot-up shooter or somebody that's popping off screens and launching. There are plenty of occasions where he is capable of backing down guards and scoring with his back to the basket. This is Klay Thompson. So when I think about Steph Curry being out of a game, I understand that Steph Curry being out of the game. I understand what a superstar Steph Curry is, Max. I truly get it. He's a 2-time league MVP, not to mention a 2-time champion, and the greatest shooter in the history of basketball. I understand losing him is not a plus. But what I'm saying is this level of disrespect or lack of respect for Klay Thompson is what rakes my nerves with people. They're acting like all of a sudden, if Steph Curry is gone, where are you going to get shooting from? Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. That'll help, and I think that's what needs to be recognized.
Stephen A., do you remember The Odd Couple, the sitcom?
Of course, Jack Klugman and Lee Randall, Felix and Oscar.
Yeah. Do you remember when Felix was really disappointed in Oscar, and he would just say, Oscar, Oscar, Oscar?
That's correct.
That's me right now in this Odd Couple pairing, Stephen A.
It's one of my all-time favorite comedies, by the way. One of my all-time favorites. Yeah.
Stephen A.
Go ahead.
It's not about the shooting. We know Klay Thompson can shoot it just about as well, can get hotter than maybe anyone who ever lived. Really, you see some of the point totals he's put up in a quarter, including 37 in a quarter, 26 in a quarter. It's ridiculous. But what makes the Golden State Warriors go? What makes their offense go? It's they have a dribble penetrator in Steph Curry who has infinite range. That's the geometry of the whole thing for the Warriors. Even then, Stephen A., they tend to take harder shots than the Rockets do. The Rockets get higher percentage chances than the Warriors, which is why they have comparable records in spite of the fact that the Warriors shoot it better because they have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. The Rockets have, as I've been belaboring this point the last couple of days, 2 elite dribble penetrators who can not only take you off the dribble, but can also shoot it. They're elite decision makers and finishers. The Golden State Warriors have one of those guys, and he is the key to the engine of the entire team. Now you're going to say the Golden State Warriors have none of those guys? That means they also have no chance to beat the Rockets 4 out of 7. Stephen A., even with Steph Curry, I think we're about at the point where we need to start asking, not can the Rockets beat the Warriors, but can the Warriors beat the Rockets?
Whoa.
But without Steph Curry, who's going to do that job? Because it's a job you need done. Who's going to do that job?
Well, I'm sorry, Max Kellerman. Is this dude, Kevin Durant? I mean, I guess
he's your point guard?
I bet that if Kevin Durant needed to be, he could. If he needed to be, he
Okay,
could.
good luck
He couldn't
with
do
that.
that, Max? Hold on, Max.
No.
You saying, I understand what, I'm asking a question. I understand what you're saying about CP3 and James Harden. No one's disputing that. But you said the only person the Warriors have that can do that is Steph Curry. Kevin Durant can't do that?
Elite at taking you off the dribble, like in isolation, everything. Infinite range, elite decision maker and passer with the ball and finisher in the paint. No, that doesn't describe Kevin Durant. He's not a point forward. He's a forward. He's a scoring forward. Can he do it? Can Klay Thompson do it?
Talking.
Yes.
Keep talking.
But
You're going to have your
as a
basketball
defense,
license stripped.
I would like Durant doing that.
You're going to have your basketball license stripped. I'm trying to tell you right now. I mean, you're losing all street cred with this argument here. Kevin Durant, who religiously takes dudes off the dribble, who religiously ISOs whenever he wants.
Sure.
You're saying he can't do that. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying if you have Kevin Durant playing Steph Curry's role, the Warriors are in trouble. It's not that he's incapable of doing it. As I say, Klay Thompson can also put the ball on the floor and make decisions, not to the extent that Kevin Durant can, but that's what you want them to do if you're the opposing defense. And in terms of Klay Thompson posting up, Stephen A., the Rockets bait teams into taking those kind of percentage shots. In other words, the two best shots, as we see in modern basketball, this is the triumph of the geeks. This is the triumph of Moneyball in, as they say in basketball, of Daryl Morey, of Mike D'Antoni even, is you got two shots you're looking to take. The three, because you get extra points for it. If it's wide open, the percentage is even that much lower. And the dunk, because it's like almost 100% certain you're going to score those 2 points. The mid-range shot. The long two, or the two that you have to fight for, is what the Rockets want you to do. So I'm sure they'll be thrilled if Klay Thompson is trying to post guys up. I mean, that's what the Rockets want you to do.
Well, first of all, I wasn't trying to say that that's what Klay Thompson's going to spend this. See, this is where you get slick and all that stuff. You're always trying to change the damn narrative. You know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say that Klay Thompson's going to be posting people up all day long. I'm saying he's not just some spot-up shooter. He's not a one-dimensional scorer. He can do a potpourri of things in order to generate points. That's all I'm trying to say. Let's also not underestimate Swaggy P in this regard. I don't have much faith in him in a variety of categories. I have a lot of faith in his ability to hit shots, particularly when he's open. And if you're on the court with a Klay Thompson and a Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry is not there, that that elevates shot opportunities for other people. He's shooting 39.6% from three-point range. He can shoot. That's the one thing he can do. So they have other individuals who can score from the perimeter. All I'm saying is, Max, I'm making your point. Years ago, we lost in Game 7 of the NBA Finals to LeBron in Cleveland when Steph Curry was not 100%. It was Game 7 of the NBA Finals that they got to without Kevin Durant. So they can't do the same without Steph Curry?
They weren't playing these Rockets. These Rockets are a different kind of animal right now.
Well, they were playing Cleveland with Kyrie.
Listen, that Cleveland team didn't reel off 33 out of 34 games when fully loaded.
You were the one that religiously talks about LeBron is the best. You're the one that religiously talks about how great LeBron is. He's the best in the world, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm saying is
conflating the issue.
Hold on. That LeBron does not compare to this Harden?
We're not comparing player to player. We're comparing team to team. That LeBron, with his supporting cast, did not present the threat that this Rockets team does. That's correct. That's what I'm saying. And as far as your Swaggy P point goes, the fact that Swaggy P gets significant minutes for them, the fact that Swaggy P gets significant minutes for the Warriors is an argument against the Warriors. And the idea that without Steph, the idea that without Steph, he's going to get better looks. The whole point is the whole team gets worse looks without Steph. Because the threat of the infinite three isn't there, and the dribble penetration isn't there the same way.
All that reading and you ain't watching, because let me tell you something right now. I hear your argument about Nick Young and any other team, but for the Golden State Warriors, he is perfect for that squad. That's basketball. That's his role. You're asking him. It's not like somebody else goes down on a front line or whatever. If a guard goes down and you elevate the responsibility of Nick Young in that system.
I see.
It's perfect for him, especially if two of the three are on the court with him.
The absence of Steph Curry, one of the trade-offs that could work for you is more Nick Young. Less Steph Curry, more Nick Young. That's somehow going to work out for the Warriors?
No, that's
Stephen
not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. See, once again, you twisting the argument. What I'm saying is if you lose the best or a two-time league MVP and the greatest shooter the game has ever seen, you can never call that a plus. Nobody's trying to say that they're better off without Steph Curry or they're just as good. What I'm saying is when you look at the personnel they still have in place compared to what they're going up against, you have to think about the drop-off. And the drop-off wouldn't be that catastrophic in this system because of the personnel you still have in place.
Stephen A., it's totally catastrophic. Even if there wasn't a Rockets team there, it would still be a major problem. As I said, the Warriors have a bunch of great shooters. It's one of the reasons, in spite of the fact that they create significantly less good looks for their teammates. In spite of that, they take more difficult shots. They're still able to be almost as good as the Rockets so far this year. They also hit them, but now you take Steph Curry out of that, the level of difficulty in their shots goes up, not down.
You're the one who confessed that you didn't play basketball. Here's the reality of the situation. When you are that superior, that's one of the reasons occasionally you'll see Steve Kerr punching his clipboard because they veer away from that kind of basketball because they're so superior that they sit up there and challenge themselves by not moving the basketball, by not having the appropriate spacing, by not doing certain things because they know they can get away with it. But when they are challenged, they rise up to the occasion and they answer the bell. That's what they do.
With Steph Curry, they might not beat the Rockets in a 7-game series. Without Steph Curry, they cannot beat the Rockets in a 7-game series. Without him, they cannot do it.
They can't.
Meanwhile, the Rockets got a tough one tonight, guys.
I don't even know why I talk basketball with you. I don't even know why. Go ahead, Molly.
Houston going for 18 straight tonight, facing the East-leading Raptors in Toronto. Guys, playoffs just around the corner. Obviously, the King, though, he's not concerned with where his squad currently stands. Take a listen.
I want to play well. I want us to continue to get better. I think we played well tonight, and we was able to get the win. In some games you play well and you lose games. But listen, it doesn't matter to me if I'm a 6 seed or a 3 seed or a 2 seed, 8 seed. If I come into your building for a game 1, it'll be very challenging.